out
Yeah.
the
At least they'll
computer?
be there.
Huh?
You looking at the computer?
Yeah.
All right.
Look, you got your phone, right?
Yeah, I do, but we can start doing that.
All right. Oh, you bring your computer too, eh?
No, my man. You can use that.
No.
You can use that computer.
No, that was computer. You bring your computer to get on the computer. And you got a computer, my man.
Yeah,
But and you're a psychologist too?
yeah. I went to school for it.
So that's not what you're doing right now?
I mean, I'm in the field. I'm in the ABA field, applied behavior analysis.
Mhm.
So this falls under the same tree.
Huh?
So it fall under the same tree.
Mhm.
Is this something that you are passionate about? You just. It sounds like you just.
The job or like the
Yeah.
major,
Huh?
or the whole career in total.
Was it a passion?
No, it wasn't. It wasn't a passion thing. I just got this. I didn't have a major, and I got to school.
You went to school, you know.
So I was just taking a class for the week, and I just told my advisor, I said, I want to do this.
Dang.
Yeah.
Dang.
That's how it goes sometimes, man.
That's how it is sometimes.
Yeah.
Dang.
I wish.
That's a tough
But I
one.
picked that because I don't know, it kind of made sense to me, and it was one of those classes where I was like really attentive and
That's wild.
pay attention in that class. So I said, you know what?
It's a great.
So you was there for 4
field.
hours, let me say 4 years, definitely. Did a 4-year bid for something what you not even.
No. I'm into it. When I first got to school, it wasn't the thing.
Sorry.
Right?
It just happened.
Jabbing it out, right?
Yeah.
Well, I understand, my man.
And I stuck with it.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So now you have to figure what to do with it now.
Yes. I like the field that I'm in. I'm trying to get into an ABA master's program.
That'd be good.
So
Are you going to do
ABA is
master
good.
with it now?
yeah, you know.
Yes. So this month is women. We're celebrating y'all, right?
Yep.
Yes. So today we have a very, very special guest today, Dr. Wilhelmina. That's a real Liberian name. That's something. that's how I pronounce it, right? Wilhelmina?
Williametta, but it's good.
Oh, Wilhelmina.
Yes.
Oh, no, is that how the white people can pronounce it, or that's how you?
No, it's William and Etta. So
Oh,
Williametta.
so they put two need together.
Yeah.
I love people.
We got Williametta.
I haven't even heard it called a name before. It's
You
different.
haven't?
I was trying to pronounce it. I didn't understand, but
But I didn't know it was William. The way you know how Liberian people can pronounce it.
My papa
William
tried
Met.
to turn his male name into a female name,
that's
know?
Wow.
it. Shout out to the
Wilhelmina.
puppet, man.
Yeah.
Today, I'm gonna introduce everybody to the left.
What's up, guys? Me, August, Playboy August, here today.
Nice.
Yes, and we got the special guest. We got a doctor here today, right?
Yes, Dr.
Yeah.
Simmons.
Yeah, Dr. Sampon.
Look at you.
Okay, we can do that.
It's people would like to put a name on a friend and name, but okay.
Yeah.
Yes, we had Dr. Sampon today. So thank you for coming through today. Like I said, Women Month, right? So that kind of, I mean, for me, I like to touch on, because a lot of women on the internet, I don't know the thing, I don't like women. I love women, but I just want to get to the bottom of certain thing, right? When it comes to man and woman, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, yeah. So before I even get to that question,
Okay.
I'm gonna allow her to introduce herself.
All right. Thank you so much for the pre-introduction. So, my name is Dr. Wilhelmina Simmons. I will try to speak very special Liberian English today.
Yeah.
I'm a psychologist, humanitarian, I'm an author, and an entrepreneur. So that's me in a nutshell. Love people, love the field, and love Liberia. And I'm excited to be here today. So thank you for having me in your wonderful studio.
Thank you for coming through. Thank you. No, the question I want to ask you, I'm gonna skip to the end. I'm gonna let her get comfortable a little bit before I ask her that question.
All right.
Yeah, so let's start with, what inspired you to pursue psychologist?
So what inspired me? Wow. I'll try to give a summary really quickly. In high school, I took a human behavioral class or something like that. I think it must have been 11th grade. And I realized that in that particular class, I actually paid attention. I loved it. I enjoyed it. And that's what led me to be interested. That was the answer I used to give. But I thought about this over the years, and I realized that truly what inspired me was pain. Just watching people around me try to navigate their own struggles, being a child of a civil war, going through that time, and just seeing the journey and how different people reacted differently to what we all experienced. It had me interested in why we do the things we do and why, say, me and you can go through the same experience and you can come out okay, successful, doing well, and then I could come out really struggling. So that's where my love for psychology, that's really what piqued my interest in psychology.
Hmm. So will you say based off of like reality, based off of how people are raised and the things they've been through, that's what was shipped. Basically, they're moving forward with life, basically.
Yeah, the things you've been through. So it's a lot of factors that shape how you are, but definitely the things you've been through, your genetics, biology, how you're built, what you got from your families, what you grew up seeing. All of those things can influence who you become. Yeah.
That's good. That's good. So how do you balance like your personal life with work and like with business and mental health work? Like how do you balance those two? Because
Yeah.
I know you got a life outside of psychology and
Mhm.
whatever you do in the field. Like how do you balance those two things?
Ooh, that's an excellent that's an excellent question.
Yeah.
The way that I try to balance it is by having a vision. First of all, I plan kind of, all right, this is what my week, my year, my whatever's going to look like.
Mhm.
But the most important part of trying to find that balance is on a day-to-day basis, being intentional about what I do. Right. Once upon a time, I used to say yes to everything. It was like, yes, this. And I would find myself being so drained and not, so you do everything for everyone else and then you don't have enough time to do your own business, or you don't have enough time to do the things that you're passionate about. So now part of finding that balance is learning how to say no. So I
Okay.
don't say yes to everything that pops up, yes to every opportunity. I value my time, I value family, I value God first, and I value like my own kind of projects that I'm working on.
Yeah.
And so it's really about putting things into perspective and weighing it out and then being intentional about what deserves your time,
Okay.
So that's kind of how I gauge finding that
That's how
balance.
you balance it.
Yeah.
I want to tap on something you said about, wanting to, just always being there for people, not wanting to say no. Do you think that comes from a place of not want to let people down? Or
Mm,
like, do you think, or like you just want to be there for people? Because
yeah.
for me, I would say that I'll say I'll go through the same thing, and
Mhm.
for me, it would be out of a place not wanting to let people down.
Yeah.
Just
Yeah.
wanting to be there, so if they ever need me, they can come to me again, or like
Yeah.
not to have a bad rep on my name.
Mhm.
It's like, does it come from a place of that, or is this you just like to be there for people?
So I think in my younger years, it was let's go back a little bit. I would say it's a combination of both.
Okay.
But in my younger years, I probably leaned towards I don't want to let people down because we're driven by this. I don't know, somewhere in our culture, we learned that when you set boundaries,
Mm.
people think you're a bad person.
Yeah.
Like, for example, when someone constantly asks you for money and the one time you said, no, that get me.
Yeah.
But then I
Yeah.
think about all the other times that you said yes,
Yeah.
right? So we are taught, whether intentionally or not, right, that by setting boundaries, you're a bad person. And so we walk around thinking, oh man, I don't want to let people down. What are they going to say about me? It's going to ruin my reputation. So we overexert ourselves. We do the most so that somebody else is happy.
Yeah.
But meanwhile, we're draining.
We forget about
right?
ourselves.
Yeah.
Years later now, and where I am right now, it's more I do it because I love doing it. And so if I'm not going to recently I had to turn something down for a particular organization. I would not name them. And I thought to myself, I was torn because they asked me to do something and I thought, I really want to do this thing so bad, right? And it's for my community, it's for my people, I'll put it that way.
Mhm.
But I learned something. I said, wait a minute, sweetie. You've been doing this thing free service since you were in your 20s, right? You're now in your 40s. That's 20 years of free labor that they're asking you for right now. Again, telling you the week before.
Yeah.
Knowing how insane. If I showed you my Google Calendar, you'll be like, there's no way. How are you even surviving like this, right? I thought about it. I pondered on it. And then I said, nope. Nope. You cannot have the same mindset that you had in your 20s now in your 40s. So I had to set boundaries. I said, listen, I appreciate that you all reached out to me, and I'm always happy to help. But in the future, this is my nonprofit fee.
Yeah.
Right. And then also, could you give me at least a month in advance, not the week before. Oh, dog, you think the young dog, you feel me? So I hope I answered your question.
No, you did.
It's a combination of both. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, you definitely answered that question, because I was watching a couple of videos about something like that, basically where you just give to people.
Yeah.
Whoever gives to you, like you create this idea to society that you always going to be available to give, and then it leave you vulnerable to the whole entire world. Nobody is checking on you.
That's right.
Everybody think you're some type of superhero.
That's right.
At the end of the day, we all are human beings, and we all decide to use our time differently and put ourselves in different position.
Yeah.
That doesn't mean like I don't need stuff because I'm always giving you something.
That's right.
You understand? So yeah, that's a good way to look at it. You got to kind of, if you just give, whoever gonna ever give the opportunity to give you back one day. So, and our community is, we have a lot of takers. Like they're taking is something that
it's a norm.
It's a norm thing.
Yeah, and it's the expectation. So we kind of, somewhere down the line, we've developed this entitlement mentality. We're very entitled. We're like, but you're supposed to. And God forbid you're attempting to do something with yourself and you're being productive. All of a sudden you're carrying the burden of everybody, not just your family, but the people in your town, from whatever. People calling, oh, sweetie, your sister, not but not your real sister, not just calling you for random. Oh, your daughter, I need one after you, and you're like, how? What is this? What are we really doing?
As well.
I recently give this analogy really quickly, right? And I said, to your point that you just made, when a mother is breastfeeding, if she's dried, she doesn't have any nutrient to give to her kid. And we are like that sometimes, where we're trying to pour nutrient out of where we don't have nutrient because we've poured everything out. So it's really important that we're able to nourish ourselves first, and then we can give to others.
No, but that right there make a lot of sense, because we understand something, right? People get in positions financially because of discipline, right?
Yes.
Sacrifice, right?
Yes.
And you find yourself sacrificing, being disciplined, not buying certain things, saving your money, investing it, taking risks, while somebody else can just pick up a phone, who just make bad decisions all day. Pick up a phone, be like, oh, can you give me this? And you just give it to them.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then we create this environment where people are not making good decisions because they can just pick up a phone and they can just call you. You would send them money. So I'm in a space right now myself where it's like, if I have money, I have, like you just said, a mother can breastfeed, and so I'll me my own money, Lily. If you need something from me, you call me with an idea.
Correct.
That's gonna put you to work.
Yeah.
If I know that that's a way of you making sacrifice to keep yourself moving. I'm not just giving you money because you don't have money or you're in a bad situation. Yeah. I can help you today. Tomorrow you'll get another situation again. I gotta be available to again.
Yeah.
So the
model we have to live by is to empower people as opposed to enabling them. Because we enable people every time we just say yes, yes, yes. There was a time when I would see people, and first of all, I love that you said sacrifice, right? Because I'm thinking about when I was in college and then grad school. You know how many sacrifices I had to make?
Don't understand.
I had to skip out on parties or skip out on, trips and say, you know what? I only got $40 this month. I got to eat, so I'm not about to go buy no new dress with my $40 dress. Any of those things. But people didn't necessarily have to make that sacrifice. But it's those very same people that will call you and be like, oh, sweetie, that's my name. Sweetie, you get something?
And I'm like, they rob you, right?
I just saw you on Facebook showing the people your, red bottom. And you were just in Dubai. But then, I ain't getting enough this month. Can you add up my... Let me not say too much before they put and say she share my business. I ain't said no name anyway. But you know what I'm saying?
You got in the fire, you talking about you say too much.
I'm not saying
that. You got a job there.
But you understand, right? That people you're flexing online, but you're in need behind closed doors. You're showing your highlights while your lowlights are screaming louder, And we do that, and that's a problem for us.
Sick. It's sick. It's like we gotta come to a space where we gotta start making people be responsible. If you really take a look in Liberia itself, these kids out there, they're lit.
Yeah.
they're having a good time.
Yeah.
And while we over
I think
here,
everybody.
while we over here, we
majority-
working so hard, like
Yes.
doing these 8 hours, 16 hours.
Mhm.
People cleaning poo-poo because they can make joke about a poo-poo
I
job.
know this.
So my nigga be okay with that
Hmm.
poo-poo job money.
Yeah.
You
That's
understand?
right.
It's like where are we at society? Like
Yeah.
when are we gonna really start having real conversations where it's
Mhm.
like, bro, I'm very sorry
Mhm.
that I got money,
Mhm.
but I don't have money to give to you.
Not for you.
Yeah.
Not for you.
You
Not this
understand?
month.
I think that's what we got to start doing. Like when
We
somebody
have
asks you
to.
for something,
Mhm.
be like, sweetheart, I have it, but I don't
Mhm.
have it to give it to you because I have it for myself because
Mhm.
I work for it.
Mhm.
And the things I had to do, the sacrifice I had to make,
Yeah.
I deserve to be able to take care and support myself too.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And have a good time like you. Because
Yeah.
sometimes we sacrifice so we can help other people.
Mhm.
Because I found myself doing that stuff these couple of years. I had to kind of take a step back and like, what are you doing? And in the
Yeah.
day, the moment you can do for them, everybody gets so
Yeah.
upset. Like
I'm in meal.
they get so
Yeah.
upset.
Yeah,
because
yeah,
you
yeah,
created
yeah.
this idea for them that's not real because it's
That's
not
right.
real for people to just give you something you didn't work for.
That's
Yeah.
right.
So I want to ask you this, right?
Of course.
Why is mental health still like a taboo to our community? Like why is it like something where it's like
It's so wild. Ugh. It's a big topic. I'll try to shrink it. I'll try to compress it. I believe that mental health is still a taboo in our communities because we associate mental health with weakness. We really do. We think that, if you're first of all, we have when it comes to mental health, we only think in the extremes.
Mhm.
So when I'm in Liberia and I'm doing trainings or whatever, I try to tell people that mental health don't mean the person that's Zogo. We say that,
Yeah.
that Christian man, that Zoko, that this. But every single one of us, even here in the studio, at one point or the other have felt a little down, have felt a little anxious, have felt a little, have grieved something we've lost.
Mhm.
So those are all under the category of mental health, right? And I think that in our community, when it comes to mental health, we don't want to look like, we don't want people to think we're crazy, something wrong with us. And I don't know if we'll ever get to this, but I want to say this here because there may be a mother online that, that might watch this. Sometimes we will even hide our children's mental health issues or even hide, we were talking about ABA earlier, hide something. Maybe the kid has autism.
Mhm.
Maybe the kid has, other issues and nothing wrong with your prayer, but I give my problem to God and all that stuff. And I always tell people, listen, we are vessels, right? Even if you're a believer, and a lot of Christians, we do come from a majority Christian nation.
Mhm.
And I think we also believe that every single thing we do can be fixed through prayer.
instantly.
I don't want to say too much. We'll get to that
No,
at some
I
point, but
already
that's
know
the
where
thing.
I already know where
You
you
know,
going down.
Yeah. Because we do that with
The pastor name, right?
Yeah. Huh?
The pastor and the people can go
I
to
mean,
the
Yeah,
because
I
it's
mean-
like like she was just saying about ABA. Let's say, for example, there's a kid, he has autism or whatever, and they wouldn't really link it to something real.
Mhm.
They wouldn't really link it to something real. It may, somebody
that
wishing.
wish
Yeah.
cry,
And it's
Yeah.
like,
It's true.
what if you just born that way?
Correct.
Like, it's possible to be born that way.
Take it away. Yeah.
It's billions of people that's born like that.
Yeah.
This kid, nothing observed happened to him. It's
Yeah.
just that's just who he is as a person. It's how his
and
brain operates.
Correct.
You know what I mean?
It's
And
crazy.
to just link it to witchcraft and just trying to pray over it for a decade, 2 decades,
Yeah.
as
Instead
if
of
it would
trying to
just
seek
magically
help.
go
Yes.
away.
Instead of trying to
That's
seek
something you
help.
got to treat. He needs
Yeah.
assistance, but
Yeah.
the assistance is word of mouth.
I have
It's
so many
holy oil, and
stories.
it's like
It's
it don't work
It's
like that.
It's crazy.
Yeah, it's so
Instead of
true.
them trying to seek help, create a system that can help
Mhm.
people like that to stop it from happening. They think they take the easy route, which is to pray.
Well, you
and
can't
do-
even stop
But
that.
it's not about, exactly. It's
yeah,
not
you
a
can't
stopping
stop
thing,
it.
right? So I can't tell you how many mothers have come to me. I'm a person of faith, so I'm diligent in talking about that. But I just call and just pray with me, blah 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 blah. And I'm saying to them, listen, we are God's vessels, right?
Mhm.
Like God is the source, and everything else is a resource. There are so many different ways that you can help somebody, it's not because you're, oh, you know what? When I was pregnant with her, I went to that. I knew I wasn't supposed to go to my mom's village, and I want my child like this today. They'll say things like that, and it's like, no, listen, there are so many things that could go on while you're pregnant, and this kid is literally born this way. But guess what? It's not a hopeless situation.
It's not.
There's so much, and we live in a country that actually have services that could help your kid with their speech, that could help your kid with their social skills, and even still we say we won't say nothing. I want it, because that's the other thing. We think that if our child has any kind of mental health situation, that it's a reflection of us, because our kids are an extension of us. So, that means I did something wrong, or people would think there's something wrong with me, that why I born crazy child. And it's like, your kid is not crazy. Your kid is just wired differently, and you can help them be some of our doctors, some of our surgeons today are people that are on the autism spectrum. We wouldn't know that.
A lot of people on autism spectrum in our community.
Plenty of
men are passing around here. But I ain't gonna lie to you, right? It's like, end of the day, me and some of my other homies, we have to really sit down and be like, yo, this guy right here, that with us, but we didn't tell him because
it's real.
The man could just misbehave all kind of different. Nothing to do. But we ever just see people just no, it's not funny. Because it's called
Make a job misbehave.
What a man misbehave. You can't even understand it, bro. Like, but he's just floating around here regularly, just living a regular life because in our society we don't really have like ways to like when they're born, to be able to understand that's what's going on with them, and they just put them in society. Maybe some other politician there, my man. I'm serious,
someone
bro.
on the spectrum too.
It's a wide range.
It's a wide range.
It's so broad, but
it's very broad.
They just look at it as an odd thing. It's just something that isn't accepted, and they try to throw other factors that have nothing to do with it.
And often it's so much easier to blame external forces than it is to actually look within again and say something's wrong. I've spoken to a lot of parents. I'm grateful to be able to give to our community in this way. But sometimes I'll see a kid and I can already tell that kid isn't meeting their developmental milestone. And it's really hard because I have to think about, I would say the other one to the mom without them being offended, because we're trying to tell me about my, and so we're trying to tell me about my child. We're trying to, but I'll say, like if they're 2, right, and they're not walking yet, or they're 2 and I don't hear even babble yet, I'm thinking to myself, early intervention. Early intervention is really important. We got to strike this thing now.
It's a lot of signs
it's so
that
many
get
signs.
overlooked.
We don't look at it. We can care. Oh, the baby, the thing is, and then they'll start saying things like, even I even talk to our father. And I'm like, are you kidding me right now?
Like, my mom told me. My mom told me I ain't
the other child, he didn't walk until he was 3.
And
it's
look
like,
how he not walking.
You can't compare life paths, but
that's crazy. That's
so
crazy.
True.
So can we say, how do our culture believe affect seeking help? Like,
yeah, I mean, listen, I think we delve into it just now. Even it's the fact that it's the stigma around mental health. We see it as being some mark of shame, of some kind of embarrassment. So because we have that stigma, people are afraid to seek help. Because again, and the other thing, let me tell you something. We talk too much. We don't respect confidentiality. So if somebody comes to you and they tell you, I'm going through this thing, they're telling you in full confidence, thinking you will hold my little secret, you will help me walk this journey together.
Right.
Before you know it, but sweetie, they say she was over there depressed, they're crying over man business. Can you imagine? So, like, why would I want to share my story if the culture doesn't allow me to be able to breathe in peace?
At the end of the day, right? I feel like we got to understand like our environment, right? Our community, right? And we gotta. There's some people that's not gonna share that. Like, you got to be able to. I was talking with my friend today, right? And she called me and she was telling me something that somebody did. And I was like, how this person didn't know this person was going to do that?
Yeah.
Like,
given their character. Yeah.
Like, you see them do it to other people.
What made you think
that's one thing about me, right?
Yep.
When somebody do something to me, or somebody do something to other people, I just know you could do it to me too.
That's right.
So all my friends I have is based off of certain things I won't share with them. Certain things I will share with them.
That's
Certain places I
right.
will not carry someone in.
That's
You know what I'm
right.
saying? Because I know that who you show me to be.
Mhm.
You understand? So we got to get to a space where we got to believe who people tell they are.
Yeah.
Don't try
That's
to think they can be
using
somebody else.
wisdom.
Yeah.
What I'm hearing you say is that you're wise in who you choose to share certain things with, you know, and that's how it should be. We can't just tell anyone our business, but even as a whole, our people don't make it easy for you to share their suffering with
No,
them.
yeah, I don't think so. I don't think so. I don't think so at all.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
so in our community, right? Another question I want to ask you:
Of course.
do we confuse a silence with strength? Like somebody quiet. Like, do you think they scared or something like that? Do we confuse like people that are loud? I just talk all day. Do we think those people are more like powerful people
strong
than
people.
strong people than somebody who just
Yeah. Yeah. We do. And
I don't.
you
You
don't?
do?
Nah,
Yeah.
like,
Yeah. I want to hear from you before I add anything to
I
it.
don't because I've seen. For me, when I try to take note in life, I like to pay attention from people's mistakes or, just how they behave and how people react to it. And one thing I've always noticed, as I'm getting older is that people like loud people are normally weak. They're normally weak and it's just a facade, like a mask. And, it's a cosplay that they practice
That's
over
right.
and over and over
That's right.
to the point where, they feel as though people automatically just recognize them as this
tough person, this
this person of force when it's just they're hiding themselves
That's right.
because, they don't want to be overlooked or they don't want to be seen as X, Y, and Z. So they have to put on this mask to let people know, hey, I'm like this,
Yeah.
I'm like that.
Don't try me.
I don't know why, but I can just always see through
You
it.
can spot
Like
it.
people that talk too much,
Yeah.
that people that do too much, you can just always see like this person is trying to convince everybody that
Yeah.
he's something that he or she is not. And it's like you can just always tell.
Yeah.
So me, that can't get past me. It
You see,
can't.
in psychology, we call it, the compensatory strategy. Essentially, people overcompensate for what they lack. So they're loud and boisterous because there's not much substance to what it is that they have to say. I always find that the quiet people in the room are exercising what I would call meekness. And, we often confuse meekness with weakness. And,
Yeah.
and we know that meekness is strength under control. It's like I could say so much, but I choose to not do that, right? I also believe that in our community, you may not see it, right? August, you may not see it. I may not see it because I think part of it might be our field and the people we're around.
Yeah.
But I think for the most part, our community at large, when we see somebody doing all that stuff, we're like, yeah, the man's strong. I really, that look out. Or I get you can't, I get can rock table that strong.
Yeah.
But quiet people, we may overlook them. Yeah.
Yeah, but how like
Mhm.
so how do you create that visibility, right? Remember earlier we was talking about how like these people that are doing well, but they in their corner. And I said our community is exposed to the wrong things because the people who are not doing nothing, they didn't allow people. You understand? Like the people who are doing all the negativity thing, very loud. So we understand we have young people coming up in our community, right? And they're thinking these things these people are doing are things they need to follow because that's what they're saying. So how are we able to bridge that gap of people who just doing all these great things, but they're just quiet, and now people are not seeing it. The young people are not seeing it because you in your corner.
Yeah.
You understand? So what do we do as a society to try to bridge that gap?
Oof. There's so much that can be done. So starting with the people who have so much to offer our community but are quiet, it's just encouraged for us to bravely step outside of out of our corner. We were talking earlier about even just being able to, form collaborations with other people, right? Not just stick with what we know, not just stick with our people. I believe that anything that is new and different, it takes time. So over time, you may be discouraged. I have to tell you, for the people that I know that are in their corner, some of them are in their corner because they tried to put themselves out there, but they were met with discouragement because
Trauma.
it's, and so they like, I'm just gonna pull back. I'm not gonna do too much because sometimes, or imagine you're like, okay, I'm gonna tell people about this thing. You put all this mental energy, you make it a big deal, and then 3 people show up. Meanwhile, my brother cussing everybody, ma, in the corner, and then guess what? 3,000 people show
3,000
up,
people over
right? And you feel discouraged. You say, "What do I have to offer them?" There's almost a sense of hopelessness to it. But I do think it's time for us to recognize that Liberia has amazing people,
Yeah.
and we're doing wonderful things throughout the world. And for those of us that have something positive to give, let us give it. Let's give it. Step outside of your comfort zone. Give it
But
boldly.
I don't blame people for some people for,
Sticking in their corner.
yeah, I don't really blame them because like you said, like the discouragement is real. Like that would
Yeah.
discourage anybody.
Yeah.
You try to come from a place of positivity or to help and you're getting overlooked, and then it's kind of like, like a cliche story in the movies, right? Where the bad boy always gets the girl, and
Yep.
then the good guy is just looked,
Overlooked.
you know what I'm
The
saying?
good
So
guy
it's
gotta
like,
fight for it, though.
yeah,
So
you know what I'm
still gotta
saying? So
fight for
it's
that.
kind of like that kind of thing, but
Yeah.
I don't really blame them, but it would be nice to see more of that. But I don't blame them because discouragement is
You're
real.
right. You're
Yeah.
right.
So we're gonna take a quick commercial break right quick, man. Tap, right?
Tap.
Tap is the best way right now available internationally to send money to Africa, Liberia, per se. So basically, Tap is the cheapest way, fastest way, has an AI thing that will make sure that when you type your name in, they correct, no mistake. You're not going to send the money to the wrong person.
Mm-hmm.
So AI going to make sure you send the right money to the person in Liberia, Tap. So if you want to get $10 for free, right? First time you put yourself to this app yet, you put your name, you register, Apple, Android, you will get $10. All you gotta do is put Fries 10. Fries 10 to get free $10 to send money to Liberia. Tap. Let's get back to the conversation.
Yeah.
So yeah. So my favorite part about this conversation, right? My favorite part. Are men suffering in silence?
Yes, absolutely. So we know that from research, we know that from practice. Men are suffering in silence, and mostly because from a very young age, since you all were boys, you've been told that it's not good to show too much emotion.
By women, right?
Stop crying.
By women,
Now, what
right?
people say, you don't let women business because you always have them, but not just by women, by women and men. I mean, you have, people's dads raise them differently. I see dad, how they are with their girls. They're gentle, they're softer, they allow them to express their emotions. And then you see them with their boy child. The boy's not allowed to cry. My man, show your mom, man. My man, go this place. So it's not just
why this thing happened?
because another woman told them to do that. They're passing it on. I've been told, I think, from A to Z. So I can predict your thought. So yeah.
The facts is facts, right?
But the issue is men are told to shut down their emotions and that they only have a limited frame. You can be, it's okay to be vexed. You can be angry. My man, I'm vexed. You can be, I guess we call it passionate when you're loud.
Yeah.
You're not allowed to talk.
Show,
that's what I call it.
Yeah, you're not allowed to talk. You're not allowed to talk.
A man can talk too much.
He said a man can talk too much. I mean, a woman. And then God forbid you cry. It's like, I mean,
can't talk about your problems too much.
Don't talk about your problems. Don't cry. Don't talk. If you're gonna talk, scream. Yeah, yell at somebody. Then we'll know that you're a man.
If you yell, you Chrissy.
Face it, move on.
You know
you're
what's
angry
interesting?
Man. You're angry man.
You allow you're angry. So there's a range. You can only do but so much right here. Women are allowed to cry. We're allowed to do things. We're allowed to talk. We're allowed to, some yell.
Yell, cry. When she yelled at me, no more emotional. She's just mad. So calm down.
She's not yelling without reason, but she's allowed to do all of these things.
Not crazy.
But having that limitation on men, what it does is it impacts your mental health in a negative way, but it also shortens your lifespan. So what we know about through research is that there's a reason why men live shorter than women do. And one of the biggest reasons is because women are allowed to fully express all of their emotions. We have social support. We got our girlfriends. You can call any day to talk about anything. And guys don't always have that. And so when you take all of your problems, and men have plenty, you have problems from your girlfriend, from your wife, from your children, from your job. When you take all that and you just keep it inside of your body, eventually your body starts to carry it and it slowly starts to fall apart. And before you know it, y'all can leave us here because y'all can make it.
So
die early.
I'm saying, like, all that information, right?
Mm-hmm.
So what are these wonderful women that are born in these men? What are their game plan to us? Is it, can I say, because it works in their favor that men are not able to really, like, do things that it's not going to sit well with them? Because when a man talking about something that they did, it's like, oh my man, why you talk like a woman? Stop talking. You understand? Is it some type of level of plan, or do they have like a group of women in America that's coming together to work on some kind of program or to put something together? Because this is a real conversation. Because if we take a look at suicide rate, men higher. Why? If we're not, like, what's
you have to dig down in the numbers a little bit. I think men die by suicide in a more drastic way. So they will. I don't know how much because you guys show on YouTube, but they use more lethal means, right? Like drastic stuff. But women,
you said they use what?
More lethal means, like they'll use a gun and things like that.
No.
I don't know how much you all can say, but women, women will usually do like pills and things along that line, and sometimes women may do it silently, so we don't even necessarily know the cause of death. So one of the boards that I serve on is Suicide Prevention Alliance, and that right there, the numbers are interesting. I won't spend too much time on that, but I want to go to the thing that you just asked, because I want us to clarify something. This is International Women's Month. It's still International Women's Month, so I'm representing for the women. What we're not going to do is blame women for what's happening to men.
No, I don't want you to believe that. Like, we gonna get there.
Yeah.
We gonna definitely.
But you just said something that implied that women are the ones that are doing this.
For me, I want to understand something, right? Because I see you. I asked a question. I say suicide rate, and you was able to kind of say lethal force. You say pills, lethal pills, pills, but it still don't change the idea of it was suicide. Are you saying women? They're not reporting
we
more?
may not always know the reported numbers. Yes, we may not always know the reported numbers, and they do it silently and things like that. So that's why.
I'm gonna go.
So you would have to be in
research
in that world to kind of know. Generally, yes, men more than women, but it's multi-layered. It's not just. So some of us think in the gray. I like data, so I don't just like whatever Google tell me black and white. I just do it that way.
So the data I said about is being more men.
It's more
women,
men, but there are nuances, right? And like I said before, there may be some things that aren't reported that we don't attribute to. This is the reason why this woman's no longer here. We just say unknown, but the more we dig, we might see a different story. Okay,
that's a good that's a good way to look at it. So I'm gonna let you talk to your sister.
No, I mean, because I think you asked a question about something that the women get together and what's their reason?
So I'm saying, are you guys like getting together, right? Because
what are we getting together? What's the society of women? What are we doing according to you?
I think you guys need to have like a round table, sit down. And find a way to change this, because it's creating real problems, right?
What is it that we're supposed to be changing?
I was about to ask.
You guys need to sit down. You guys need to sit down. Simple thing as, if you're born a child, if that child is in pain, he want to cry, man, allow him to cry. He's a kid, he's a baby, right? Some of them don't want the baby to cry, but they want to have another baby again. So they're going to be hushing all the baby in there. You understand? Now understand, as a baby, that's how they communicate.
This is the problem we get through
that's how they talk.
When we overgeneralize, we get ourselves in trouble. I think you're overgeneralizing. I think that you are assuming that all women or most women are that way, and that's not necessarily the case.
No, I'm not generalizing. What I'm doing, I'm talking about, we're talking about a problem, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's the problem we're talking about.
So
right?
then be specific and say, so for those group of women that are raising their children, because I know lots of women that are raising their kids to express, especially their boys, to express full range of emotion without telling them, oh, shut up, don't do this. They embrace that stuff. So you have to, somebody's gonna be watching and say, but I don't raise my child like that. And I know plenty of them that don't raise their kid like that. So if we're being problem focused, then we should say, for the group of women who choose to tell their speaking but make sure that I can go get you something to, to cry about.
Yeah, get some crowd.
That group,
So So for the group of women, right, it just starts with something really simple. As a baby, right? When the baby born, the baby crying, that means that baby is communicating. That's how he talk, right?
Yes.
There's no need for you to be like, oh, man, I'm supposed to be crying. You understand? Because if he could tell you how he feel, he probably definitely will.
But what about
certain babies don't understand how to say certain things, right?
But where you so mountain, baby, what crying? Man, that's what we crying. Shut up.
No, we gotta start with baby first before we go to the man end, because we gotta start with the baby end, because I feel like this is a real problem in society that we don't really talk about these conversations because men are not supposed to talk. And a lot of when men speak, they say, "Oh, do you hate women?" And it's crazy for a man that like women, for women to be like, "Oh, you hate women." Now it's pointing you against women. Now you can't even be able to talk to women and this and that, make women comfortable around you. So me, I feel like I'm an advocate for my brothers.
It sounds personal.
No, not for me. Women don't do nothing to me. I'll tell you that one. But to do things to my brother in there.
All right.
You understand? And my brother keeper. So I feel like women, y'all need to, since it's Women Month, I think you guys need to really sit down and focus on these things too, because it's very important things. It's not about just celebrating y'all. It's about like, men play a major role. Men protect y'all. Men do a lot of important things. And I feel like a man's health, mental health, him living longer, is very important, because if you have a son, you want your son to be raised by a father, and a father got to be alive to be in that son's life. So these things it's very important to society.
I would agree that that's important to society. I can't help but share something with you. Maybe you've heard this. Because if a woman is performing a particular way, and again, a subset of women, I don't want to overgeneralize. I know too many good women. It's sometimes, not always, but we have to think about, why is this person doing this thing that they're doing, right? You talked about a person's health, but did you know that women who are married live shorter lives than women who are single?
Women that are married live a shorter
married women die sooner than single women.
Why? Why you think
Because
so?
of the stress of a man. And also,
talk to me.
Yeah, because you may not know some of that. I'm so glad I'm here today to educate you on some of these things, because you're really trying to go at my women.
Talk to me. I'm listening.
But not just the stress of men. I mean, because they're good men. But, it's because, in this society in particular, you're still working the full-time job. You're still raising the kids. You're still having to, try to come and show up and be a good wife, so forth and so on. So there's a lot there. And a lot of men don't even, they're not responsible. They don't for not responsible in that way.
A lot of men, not a group of men.
A group. There's a portion of men.
So for men, we would say a group
majority,
too, right?
In fact, the research will show a majority, but I'll get to that point. When I say I didn't finish my sentence, right? They're not responsible for their doctor's appointment and going to this, and that's the woman's job. She makes the appointment. Oh, don't forget to do this. Let's go to this place. Oh, you didn't call that person. So guess what? For those men, those women shoulder all of that responsibility because they're keeping the family together. For the men, guess what usually happens when that woman leaves? At first, they wild out. Yeah, I enjoyed my set. And the woman, if she's not all together, she was, oh, look, I having a good time. But before you know it, they start to deteriorate, because who's making the doctor's appointment? Who's making sure that you took your vitamin today? Who's making sure that you don't forget to pick up the child from school? They start now picking up all that stuff, and it's too heavy. So let's be fair on both sides. There are good men and there are good women. There are not so great women.
I got something for you for that one.
But don't you? Because I'm a little younger, so I don't have no family or anything like that. So
wait till you get it, you will see.
Well, what you're saying, I think, I don't know, is good. Now, I'm not saying I don't know it in a bad way. I'm just saying, because now I'm looking at at a grown man's side. I don't.
How you gonna look at a groom man side?
No,
Not
no,
put
no,
a groom man side off together.
Listen, because I don't want to sound like I'm picking sides or anything, but
It's
a lot
okay.
of things you're saying, I just feel like as an adult, you should be able to handle that.
They're not
Like
handling it.
if I know that I gotta take medicine, or I know I gotta go to an
They're
appointment,
not handling it.
this, that, and the third. It's mine, it's my life. I gotta handle stuff in my life to make sure I'm all right.
When we
because
leave,
one day you may not be around.
call your uncle then.
So I'm
then you will get a good picture.
So it kind of be confusing to me. Like, why would I depend?
Playboy, this is what happened, right?
Why would I depend on?
They create that kind of environment. They hold on.
Who's the they that created?
Hold on for a second.
That's why I'm a little confused.
So let me tell August this really quickly.
How you a grown man?
And tell them who can make your doctor. Just go. I'm telling you, just give a good research. Who can make an appointment? Who can remind you to do? You will be surprised to hear that you're growing up in a time where men are, Yeah,
but
you're growing up in a time that men are making more responsible decisions around, let me go. Like your age, you would do that. But I'm talking about your dad, your uncles, like even people my age trust and believe. They're like, I ain't even said no,
because you know what I'm saying?
So think about
I
that,
just feel
August,
like,
right? Think about that for a
let
second,
me finish
right?
real quick.
Okay.
Because it's like
You're doing it right now.
you spend like whenever people move out their parents' house, like you spend like a good majority of your life, you know, getting walked, right? You know, you're on my tongue, you do this, that, and the third. And at some point in your life, you gotta get to a point where it's like, all right, I gotta know when to do this, when to do this, that, and the third. So it's like now that you have grown and your brain has developed, and you know you spent time to keep tasks on yourself before you meet this person. Why you gotta go all the way? Why you gotta backtrack?
You will be very shocked.
I think I can't tell my future, but I don't think I will.
Now, but take a look at this. See this. Yeah, but see this, right?
So if you were single, how was gonna manage?
That's a question. You don't have somebody to do it for you. So take a look at this, right? They create that space, right? So imagine you doing it for yourself. You get into a space. Somebody start doing it for you. Do you think you're gonna fight with a person not doing it for you, or you gonna allow them to keep doing it? So they create that space for you, right? So you can be dependent on them.
I disagree with that. I see why the women say you don't like women because your thing is interesting.
No, hold on for a second. It's all.
Who's the they? Let's start there. It's women that create this?
Okay, yes. If you're in a relationship with a woman, if that's what she do, she create that space because not every woman do that.
But see, now that's what I'm saying. You start taking steps backwards.
So here's the thing,
right? She's a nurturer, right?
Something that August said is you grow up in the house, your mom's doing all this stuff for you. I think what you're of the generation that you're actually thinking, okay, at some point I have to transition. But I can tell you right now, when most people leave their parents' household, for me, I left at 17, right? Let's just say boys, where the sister was the person cooking, the mom was the person doing all this stuff. You haven't picked up those skills. So when you are now responsible, I can't tell you how many college kids that their parents are still making their appointments and all that stuff for them, or young adults, right? That's just how it is. So the skill to help with that transitioning into manhood, to take care of yourself, is often lacking because you were never given the opportunity to learn that. So now you're trying to learn it. Some men are responsible enough to learn it. A lot of our men, or there are a portion of our men, and quite honestly, I would venture to say a lot of them. If you just did a straight up, like I said, call your uncle then, just doing it, you would be stunned. Okay, they don't do that. And it's not because the woman she said, I would take care of this, I would take care of that. No, most times when you get married, some men naturally allocate that to the woman because they think that's their responsibility. A healthy relationship, you talk about it. What can honey, do you want help with this? Do you want help with that? What can you do? What can't you do? But in relationships that aren't so healthy, somebody might usurp the situation and say, I don't want to have to do this but that's not a healthy relationship. So I don't know what kind of relationship you're around or partnerships or what you're seeing. But that's not necessarily the case.
For me, nobody setting an appointment for me. Nobody, I do all the things for myself.
That's what I'm saying.
What I'm trying to say to you, what I'm trying to say to you is, if you get in a relationship, right, you get a woman that offer you those services, right, and then you have men offer women certain services that some men not going to offer, right? That's how a relationship works. And I don't feel like that should be like a law of things, activities that you create this way or a woman should have issues with her living long. You understand? Like taking on burdens and things like that. I feel like as a nurturer, as a woman that you nurturing your family, a woman that you want to take care of your man, like I feel like it should come natural. Like, you feel me?
That's why
like
for
making
me,
sure,
as a psychologist, I deal with data. I don't deal with how I feel. I don't deal with, I just feel like this, I just feel like that. When I speak, I'm speaking from a place of statistical data. I'm not speaking from a place of, well, I can't do it. There are things that I do not do. Just because I don't do it doesn't mean that the data reflects that I don't do it. Or just because that's not my environment doesn't mean that that's not the majority of what shows up. So you're talking about what you feel, what you want to do. I'm talking about statistically what the data shows. And I can only speak from that place.
So do you feel like there don't need to be like a roundtable conversation about how this can kind of like about how.
But the way you mix up the question, we not move from it. So go reframe your question. Ask it again. What is it that you're asking for these women?
So my question, right?
Women, you're listening.
From the women in the world, right? You guys don't think you guys need to really pay attention to men, right? Because men are leaving this space faster due to stress. Stress, right? And stress usually comes from day-to-day activity dealing with people. You understand? And most of the time, men spend more time with women than anybody else. So that means...
Do that?
Of
just
course.
say most of the time you spend more time
with
women.
Most of the time, men...
most of the time I spend more time with women.
No. Most of the time, men spend more time with... You spend time with your Oma or your girlfriend. No men's out here just hanging out with his homies all day.
They hang out with their boys.
No, not more than their women. Not more than their girlfriend.
Go to work, you go to the gym.
Yeah. So if a man out with Oma, he with a woman. That means left with Oma horse, he with a woman. You understand? So we need to get to a space where we have to figure out how to preserve men's life, longer life, because men are so impactful to society.
Of course.
Men are the only ones who could bring up another man.
I think something that can help.
Men are the only one who can bring up another man, like I said, because I don't feel like a woman can raise a man, because it's certain information that men need to get at a certain age. After 10, it's certain information for a man to navigate through life. So I feel like y'all need to have like a next woman month. It needs to be about y'all having seminars about how to preserve men's life.
At one point, you said we. For me, I think it's important to use inclusive language.
Oh yeah,
it's not a woman's job to fix a man's problem. It's all of our responsibility. Here's where I would agree with you. I do believe that women have to, value men's mental health. We as women have to take it seriously. We have to give our men in our lives, whether it's our boys or our partners, whomever, our uncle, our brother, space to be able to, express themselves freely without judgment. We need to make room to validate their experiences. We need to make room to support them. All of those things are absolutely true, right? Where I defer is that I do not believe that burden should be solely on women, or the task of doing that should be solely on women. I believe that task is a collective task. All of us men should be responsible as well for managing their own internal, what's happening, stress in their life. You can't just put that on some other woman and be like, oh, that'll be your business. If you have that mindset, you now have to start thinking like, who hurt me, or where did I hurt? What am I carrying? You know what I mean?
No,
because it's not, honestly, because it's a collect. It's all of us. We have to be able to make room for men to be able to heal, make room for them to hurt, make room for them to grieve without judgment.
I think something that could help.
Mm-hmm.
I think something that could help is that. Yeah, I think some stress that be on men is like the social pressures and like the construct and how a man should be, or you got to do this, that, and the third before you die, or if you're this old and you don't have this, you're not doing well in life. I think something that men need to do is just give themselves grace.
That's it.
And appreciate where they're at, and give themselves a pat on the back for the little milestones. Because if you don't, and you try to like chase what everybody expects out of you, that will really hold you down the most, because you're not even valuing where you're at. You're not really appreciating the journey. And I think a lot of men stumble with that. And that's why, like, right now at this age, I just try to give myself grace every day from where I'm at, and not let society, control my feelings, or, control how I feel about where I'm at in my life, because everybody's story is different.
That's
You know what I'm
right.
saying? Everybody handles pressure different.
Yeah.
Just because my back is against the wall, like, I'm the kind of person, I like to feel everything I go through, because you cannot run from your feelings. So I try to feel everything I go through. I try to understand them. If I gotta be sad for 2 days, I'm gonna be sad for 2 days. I mean, you can't tell me not to be sad, because if I'm sad, then I'm weak. We're all humans. You can be sad. You can be sad. We can all be mad.
That's
you feel me? You just gotta feel it.
That's right.
And once that's over, now you get the solutions. Now you try to figure out what you can do, and just pace yourself. I think, and it's something that goes on in my generation too. Like, a lot of young kids, their back is against the wall, due to, like, social media or the music, like how you should be living, or if you're not at this right now, you're not doing nothing. So, I just try my best to break away from that. And I think a lot of men don't give themselves grace, because they wake up, and by the time they get on the internet, it's like another. Sometimes it can be another grown man telling you how a man should be living. Because I'm not gonna lie, now. Before it was just a woman, but now it's other men.
That's
Because the
right.
men are being
That's
raised
right.
by women.
No, but look, you see what I'm saying? No, but now it's like other men are now pointing the finger, like,
Pressure on
why
other
as a
men.
man, why are you do?
Yeah.
You see me, and now you gotta wake up, and you already feeling away about your situation.
Yeah.
Now you try to check on your phone to live or whatever. The next reel you
Somebody
see,
tell me about
somebody
yourself.
you tell about yourself, and now you're back in a space. So I think like, people in general need to give themselves grace.
Yeah, collectively.
I think sometimes it's beyond woman business, or beyond trying to live up to a woman's expectations. Like, you could probably just feel away because you don't think you're living up to yours, because you're chasing what society says you should be.
Yeah.
And I think I'm the kind of person, I think a lot of this shit is made up. I think, like, who says that,
You
like,
have to do
who
this
made you the instructor of life?
Yeah. Yeah.
Our lives are different. So I think you just got to give yourself grace.
That's such an excellent point. And you got, Bikini, making me very proud. You got your head on your shoulders right. I love the idea of extending grace, because, again, transformation happens when it happens internally. When we're looking at ourselves and saying, what is it about my presentation that's adding this extra stress? What is it about me that's causing me to act this particular way? And sometimes we do have unnecessary stressors that we put on ourselves. The race is not given to the swift. Run your own race.
Yeah.
Do your own course. I don't, I work with a lot of young women, and one of the things I tell them all the time, because there's so much comparison. This is where you come in. There's so much comparison, and you want to keep up with the Joneses. Oh, this person did this by the time they were 28, and now 28, and I'm still in college. Oh, wow. Guess what? We don't know next year, or when you graduate, you don't know the opportunities that lie ahead. Never mind what this person's doing, that person's doing. Don't put unnecessary pressure on yourself. Extend grace to yourself and celebrate your little wins every day. Oh, you did good, oh my God. You went to
grace.
work and cleaned bad. So grace is an important piece. I'm glad that you mentioned that.
So today we're gonna say grace.
Grace, that's right. Extend grace
people
to
need
your
to
others.
do that.
So more for all
Extend
my
grace.
sisters out there. When y'all tell us, y'all just give us grace, okay?
August
Is
didn't
that
say
okay?
give grace. He said you need to extend grace to yourself. Take responsibility. Stop giving it to somebody else.
So we just tell them say that, just give us a break. Basically,
again, you're redirecting
the
issue to somebody.
But sometimes it don't even gotta come from.
It's not coming from outside.
Sometimes it don't even gotta come from a woman.
It's coming from
it
other men.
really be within sometimes.
Yes.
Like, we beat ourselves up for no reason.
Yes. Unnecessarily.
For no reason. Because nobody really cares. Nobody's really worried about you like you think they are.
Yeah.
So we really be beating ourselves up for nothing, thinking that, everything revolves around us, but everybody face their own things.
Everybody got their own.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. So we'll
extend grace to yourself.
So we're gonna extend grace more for. So let's take a little commercial break right quick. Tap. So fastest way, safest way to send money via Africa. if you want to send money to Liberia right now, you want free $10, right? You know, $10 US dollars free to send to Liberia. All you have to do is go on an Android app, Apple app, and then go and put tap, and then when you'll see the little green app will pop up. When the green app pop up, when we sign up, all you got to do is put fries 10, and you will get free $10 to send your first $20 to Liberia. So tap is the fastest way, safest way to send money via Africa. Okay, let's get back. Let's get to the nation of Liberia right quick, right?
Let's go.
Because we're gonna talk about Liberia for a second, right?
Let's go.
So, do you feel like our nation can grow with us focusing on mental health?
Without us focusing on mental health? No, listen, a nation's health is its greatest wealth, right? We've heard that saying. And mental health is very much health. So how can we grow? Let me put it in like simple English. If our head not correct, if our head cracky, what we growing in? Who's going to be the person defining the vision? Who's going to help us strategize? No, I do not believe that our nation can grow if we don't take care of our mental health. You don't have to look far. Just look at us now. Look at us now as a nation. We didn't get to where we are, just by accident. We've gone through so much war. 14 years is no joke. And as a result, a lot of us are still walking around with trauma. And guess what? If you're traumatized, you will be bleeding on other people while trying to lead them. And it doesn't work like that. So we have to prioritize our nation's mental health first, at least prioritize it along with other things in order for us to grow. That's where productivity happens. I mean, honestly, if constituent, their mental health is not correct, guess what they're not doing? They're not working. Mm-hmm. They're home. But when your mental health is intact, your community, people go to work, they have ideas, they run their business, they're better at family people. So all that to say, our nation's mental health is important for our growth, to see us go forward.
So with that being said, mental health and moving forward, right? Mm-hmm. Are you working on any projects to kind of figure how to put that blueprint within that space of Liberia?
Yeah, I'm working on lots of projects. But one of the things my team does, so I am the psychological services, the director of psych services for the Liberia Medical Mission. We go to Liberia every year for one month. For those of us that have private practice, which is quite a bit of us, we close down our practice, we go, and we offer free medical and mental health services throughout the country. So we don't just stay saturated in Monrovia like a lot of people might do. We're going to Kitmau, we're going to Nimba, we're going everywhere to provide those services for free. But we're not just providing it to people, we're training other people within that community. For in my case, for mental health, we're training people that are elders, that are well respected within each of those communities on how to even catch signs, what to look for. And then you don't need to be an expert. You don't have to have a PhD or PsyD or whatever to be able to help somebody. There are some easy strategies you can do to make sure that someone is, okay. So we train them to do that. And something else that we have coming up the pipe is that we're trying to build a physical structure where our presence is felt when we are gone, when our physicians are back in the UK or people are going back to Australia, I'm back in the States. What do? We don't want to just, you come and then you go, but to have something there that we can provide. Yes, like exactly. That's what we're working on.
Since we're talking about Liberia, how do you feel about the older generation, right? Mm-hmm. Those who were really old enough, like during the times of wars, and they wasn't a kid when it happened. They don't have blink memories. They have real full force memories from whether they was there for 2 years of the war or 5 years or the whole 13, 14 years. How do you feel about the ones that are numb to what they went through, numb to the story? Because the way how some people talk about it is so, it's like the way how some people talk about it's not even like they're affected. It's like they're so numb to everything that once they broke from it, it's like it's something that just happened, unfortunately. Like how do you view that? Like the ones that are just numb to everything that they experience, to where, you know, they don't know how to talk about it. They don't really know how to feel about it, because that's something that I sense, you know, when I'm around older folks, you know, when they sit around, probably reflect. It's like when they're reflecting, they're kind of reflecting in a way where they're not moved. It's like they're moved, but I don't know how to explain it. It's like, because me and my sister we was having a conversation, and she was literally telling me, like, you know, I think a way that Liberia was the way how Liberia was able to like shift from it was anytime after like a ceasefire, or like, you know, you would catch up with a friend. It's like that trauma bond, it kind of bring like closeness. Like, for example, let's say after a ceasefire, I see you. Oh, my man, you're on this side. What you're going through? Oh, my man, we're in the bush for 1 week. Oh, my man, we're in the bush for that long too. It's like that, you know, the pain, but just to come together and say, yeah, you and I went through the same thing, but you know, we all right. It's like, I don't really think that's, I don't know, it's so shallow. It's like they're kind of jaded to what, not everybody, but to like those who are, is kind of like crazy to me. Like, how do you view that?
Yeah, the one thing that stick out to me based on what you said, my mind went immediately to post-traumatic stress disorder.
Yeah.
Specifically, I'll just say post-traumatic stress because I don't want to label it. And what you just described is one of the symptoms, and that's numbness. That when we've gone through extensive trauma, sometimes we just numb. And the numbness serve a purpose, actually a good purpose, for a certain period of time. That numbness is a survival mechanism while you're going through. The challenge comes in when we're no longer in the situation and we didn't thaw out. We remained numb. And that, when we stayed numb for too long, guess what ends up happening? We come off as nonchalant.
Yeah.
You know, we come off as feeling hopeless. How many of our people, maybe it's our moms or dads or whatever, not going through that, nothing will come out of it.
No, literally.
All the time.
There's a lot of them
and it's
that
because
think like
they've
that.
lost hope, because that the feeling is no longer very much at the forefront, right?
Yeah.
It's because what they now feel is absolutely nothing. And again, you have to numb when you're in the midst of a threat. You got to be like, if your brain try to process what you're going through, the things that some of us saw, if we didn't numb it, we wouldn't survive it. But once you come out of it, you have to be able to allow. I love what you said earlier. Like, I sit with my emotions, I let it go through me, because our bodies keep the score, right? It will remind you. That's why when we lose somebody, maybe you lost them 10 years ago, that you lost them in December. Every December, your body will remind you, whether your brain want to remind you or not. So in our numbing, guess what we're not doing? We're not feeling. And as long as we're not feeling, we can't go to a place of resolve. So we just stay there. Some of us die in that state of numbness. So that's the thing that stuck out to me. What do we do about that? Listen, first of all, I always encourage people to seek their own therapy. But as a community, what we do is we don't try to silence what happened. We talk about what happened, the impact that it has from us. But also we highlight what's called post-traumatic growth. Meaning that you went through something. They used to call it resilience, but resilience is the common word that we use all the time. But essentially what you want is for us to get to a place of post-traumatic growth, because it exceeds resilience. Post-traumatic growth said, I came through, but I didn't just come through. I brought others with me. And then I got something to show for it, right? So we get out of that state by saying we don't have to be stuck here in this state of numbness. There is a way forward, and let's talk about it to get to that way forward.
Yeah.
I'm definitely with y'all with that. Liberia.
It's crazy place.
We will get there. I still have hope.
I love the land. It's just the people. It's just
it's just a mental thing going on.
Yeah, it's a mental thing.
I always tell people all Liberia's problems come from upstairs.
Yeah, mental.
It's just all from upstairs.
It's all about the mind.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like you can't even tell them that. They be like, you think you telling me I Chris it and this and that. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So good point. How do you feel like the diaspora can be able to help that whole mental health scene in that country?
Yeah.
Like what's some of the plans you think we could do collectively? Because I feel like I've been on all these different platforms like TikTok, right? And I get on these platforms and I hear people speak. but no action, no call to action. It's like, I'm like, yo, what are you guys doing? What are you guys are talking about? All day, every topic, y'all take it, y'all talk to the internet, y'all put our business to the public.
Yeah.
And y'all just let the public know about all the bad stuff that's going on, but you have no plan to so it don't happen again.
Yes.
So how do we because then some of them will say, oh, our voice, me, everything with that mean we're doing something by just talking. No, you're not doing nothing by talking, because whatever you're talking about happened before. You talk. It happened again. So what makes you think you did something from stopping it from happening again?
Yeah.
So what can we do as people that God bless? Because I always say this, we that made it on this side, we like the chosen ones, right?
Yeah.
And we that made it here, we haven't understood that yet. We came here, God brought us here to get information from here and take it back over there.
Yeah.
We are the ones that's going to move that country forward. And no matter how much these people in Liberia can get vexed with me when I tell them, say, oh, we're going to move that space forward. They get so mad at me. That's on y'all. Because you guys are over there, you're there. And we see what happened in there. So if you guys not going to allow us to come in that space, and what are we doing? What kind of plan, like the people you work with, what are some of the strategic plan that you guys are doing to connect with the people of diaspora? Because it has to be like a group effort. Like, it's not just one or two people going to go there and make a change. It has to be like a plan from the people here that say, oh, we'll kind of get up. The people that do this going to go plant this here. And then the regular people then from here will support that idea. Follow up with results to hold these people accountable, because what we do, we hold people accountable. Now, you're not kind of today, you tell us you this is what your program do. We're watching you now.
Of course.
Yeah.
We've been doing it for a long time.
Yeah, now
since 2012. So it's been a long time.
Yeah, we're watching you now. Yeah. So it's all about accountability, man. I feel like what do you think?
So, to answer, you provided some solutions to your question. The first thing I would say is, as a diaspora, we need to find a way that, first of all, we need to understand that we do bear responsibility for the country that we come from. I know a lot of us that, we're here, we're doing very well. We're doctors, lawyers, surgeons, multi-business owners. We don't want to go back home. There are a lot of people that don't want to go back home. They may not even feel responsible for going back home. So the first thing is to acknowledge your soil, man. Acknowledge that there's a reason why God placed you in that place. And if we are, in fact, those of us that were privileged to come overseas and in the diaspora, whatever, to do something, let us not just take that information and keep it here. So that's the first thing, is to understand that what we're accumulating here can be very much utilized back home. The second thing I would say is for us to operate collectively, like collaborating as opposed to doing things in silos. There's actually a lot of people from the diaspora that are doing things in Liberia, actively doing things, wonderful work. Some of my buddies have ambulance services. A bunch of them have clinics and they have pharmacies. The challenge with that is we don't know what each other are doing. So we don't have a coalition. We don't have a collaborative effort, because there's power in numbers. So if we're collaborating, you got a pharmacy, I got a hospital. Now there's a synergy there. But we're just doing our own things in our separate world. We're not talking to each other. So one thing that we can do to help is to talk to each other and find ways that we can have intentional partnerships with one another, because we will make a better impact that way. The other thing I would say is for us to think highly of our country. Most times, there are several times, I would say, I don't want to generalize too much, but some of our people, once we've gotten to a place where we think we've arrived, we don't talk so kindly about the place that we came from. And that's not fair, because that's the place that produced you. That's where you come from, right? So when we start to value our soil, start to value our country, start to know that, you know what, if no one else wants to make a change, I'm going to make a change for this country. One of the things I love about a big sister of mine, Ambassador Myron Cassell, she did a song recently, and it's called "Liberia, You're Lifted." And I told her I really appreciate that song, because it speaks prophetically into our country. It's saying, maybe others are saying, that place, we're poorer than the poor. We behind, all of those things. But guess what? When somebody is speaking prophetically into you, you start to feel like, yeah, we can do it. We will do it again. We were there before, we can be there again. So start speaking life into our country and not looking down on it. And then can I just speak a little bit? This is my final point to the people that are back home. When we go back home, you're met with a lot of challenges, whether people want to say it or not. So we're coming from a place where structure is important, where responsibility is important, where accountability is important, where transparency is important. We're taking that mindset there and we're like, we know this works. And you get there and they don't want, like me, you come and tell what to do.
I think that's one of
that's the problem. It discourages people.
The key word, out of all the words you just listed, I think the key word for me is accountability.
Accountability.
Nobody wants to be held accountable.
Yes,
for their situations.
Yeah.
And everybody is just mad at the world for a place that they're in.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And we're not welcomed. I went to Ghana, so let me tell you, the first time somebody, aside from white people, but when they can pay you to come, they value you. They say they want money, you're doing something, they kind of pay you plenty of money. The first place that paid me real money in our African soil was Ghana. They flew me to have to speak at a mental health summit. They did it big. It was the best mental health summit I've ever gone to in my entire life, and I've been doing this for almost 20 years now. Now, the way that those people welcomed me, I was just shocked. And I know right now we're having some kind of, theme, like Prempo versus, let's just put that one to the side for
Ghana,
now,
right?
okay? The people welcomed me in a way that said, we value you, we want you here, blah, blah, blah. And it wasn't a me thing. It's they welcome everyone that came into their space that way with some nuances, because I have a whole bunch of other stories in my bag that I can hear people saying, but they ain't even like bring people. Yes, but they value your expertise. They value what you have to give. Our people don't value your expertise. And let me be clear, if it don't come through a white person, we don't want it. I'll show you a quick story. In 2016, I took one of my postdoctoral residents with me to Liberia. She was beautiful, beautiful young lady, blonde hair, blue eye, very as white as you get. I love you, girl. I know you might see this. But when we went there, we got on the sword. Oh, Liberia medical mission. We thank God, thank all the reporters. I like reporter now. They asking questions, and then they came straight to her. They said, "Oh, thank you for bringing our people here. Are you Dr. Simmons?" So she said, no, I'm not Dr. Simmons. She points to me. And she said, that's Dr. Simmons. The person said, oh, okay. Well, anyway, thank you for coming back. The level of enthusiasm for this white girl went from we're all the way, oh my God, Dr. Simmons, thank you so much for bringing our people. And then to, I just don't let Librarian get. We don't value ourselves. Yeah. We value other people more than we value ourselves. So collectively, we need the people in Liberia need to understand, break out of that slave mentality. Just because you light up don't mean you better. Just because you white don't mean you got more intelligence. I serve on many boards here. Usually I'm the only black person. Sometimes the only woman. Black and woman. But at the same time, combination. When I look at the people around the board, I realize that, my girl, you belong here, yeah? Because before I wouldn't have thought I belonged, right? Because we're trained to think differently. So that whole different story, but let us value each other and what we bring to the table. The Google thing and don't just come through white people. All right, I'm finished now. I step off my soap. I step off my soap.
The people in
yeah, because I open it. Yeah.
So I want to ask you something, right?
Mm-hmm.
You talk about all the amazing things. Shout out to you, everything you're doing. So legacy-wise, what are some of the things you want to leave on this earth, blueprint, impact, that you want, how you want the world to remember you
when it's all done?
When the day you kick the bucket, everybody gonna kick the bucket one day.
Some kind of way, someday. And I be sooner rather than later. That's a profound question, and you would think that as a psychologist, I would have thought about this thing. Still walking into it. Thank you. That's exactly what it is. Well, I would, for now, what I would say is I would want to be remembered as someone that came and left a tangible impact, like something that people can say, okay, this person left this world a better place in however little way. They impacted this group of people. Oh, they wrote about this or they talked about this, and that really, it transformed my life in some way. But to be remembered tangibly, as opposed to, gone dead and forgotten.
So I hear you talking about writing. You wrote some books. You're an author.
I'm I'll come back. I would love to come back and tell you on something that's in the works. I can't speak too much on it right now.
Okay.
But have authored like articles and stuff like that. But I am working on a major project that I'm super excited about.
Nice.
And it's coming very, very, very soon. So I will let y'all know. And I would love to come back. It's juicy. So I would love to come back and talk to you about
They got some woman.
it got woman man tin inside. It got
that's the kind of
tin
thing that is
inside.
being
ready to talk to me about that one.
Yeah. Oh
Okay,
yeah, I will talk to you about that one.
We'll see you ready. Because I think you got to really come ready.
I will represent for the women. We're not going down like that.
Women month. So I'll just let you. The women month. So you hire. Yeah. But look, I want to tell you, thank you for coming, man.
Of course.
Thank you for coming through, and we appreciate you stopping by and giving our people information on mental health. It's such an important thing in our community because we need to understand something.
Mm-hmm.
Everything starts right here.
Yeah.
All that thing when you're hot, all that thing when people say you're in love, that mental, you're hot, you just pump blood, don't do nothing else.
Yes,
You
sir.
understand? So all these things, it's straight mental.
And everything starts
Society
with
has
you.
figured how to promote and brand all kind of stuff and more, making us go left, right.
Mm-hmm.
Like what they say with the white people in there.
Mm-hmm.
Now what they did back in the day, they marketed white people so much that we feel like that's the key to everything.
Mm-hmm.
It's like we need to value our people. Yeah. And I thought about it today, right? One thing our people, once you're accessible to them, they'll respect you.
Yes.
Respect the people that's next to you that's going to help you instead of you. Yeah, it's something our society do.
So true.
When you get at people, when you won't get at people small, leeway because you're come from the same place.
Mm-hmm.
You have nothing. Me, I was thinking about this. Me and somebody at the beginning, our band friend, we got nothing in common.
Yeah.
What do we have in common? We from Liberia because I felt like these people from where I'm from, I can give them some kind of social information to point them in a certain direction to help them.
Yeah.
But some of them, they can just take it for another way. They can just take it.
Is that begin what I can see all the time?
Yeah,
I see all the time.
It's not cool to that, man. Like we got to look at it different. Other nationalities, they like if the people showing them love, they respect you because they say, they made from whatever. But other people can take it different. They respect you, but we'll get it right one day.
We will.
Like I said, thank you for coming through.
Thank you.
Thank you for all the work you're doing. And like I said, we hope to see you at the LEA. Right now, you fashion on red carpet with Nia. So I just hope you moving the schedule around.
I'll move some things.
So hopefully we see Dr. Didn't he help pronounce it Nia? Can you guess?
Wilhelmina.
Wilhelmina.
My girl, my boy know how to say, look out. Not watermelon. The way you say that.
William Etta.
There you go.
Oh, William Etta.
Yeah,
oh my goodness. I remember come all kind of need it.
Yeah,
so William Etta came together.
They came together and they married and made one knee.
Shout out to you. Thank you for coming through, man. Yeah. You have any last words to say to our audience?
First of all, I want to thank you all for having me. This was an awesome conversation. I could go on and on about it. I was exhausted when I got here, but you energized me, so I appreciate it. And to our audience, first of all, thank you for watching, and I hope you continue to watch and support. Don't just watch the thing. If there's a subscription, subscribe, do what you need to do. Comment, subscribe, share, so that people can follow. For those that have been asking about my podcast, the Bare Naked Podcast, I will be reintroducing it within the coming months. I'll keep you posted.
Where you get that name from, Bare Naked?
And it's intentionally provocative. It's not about rudeness, not about rudeness. It's called the Bare Naked Podcast because a lot of us conceal what's really hurting us. A lot of us suffer in silence, and there are certain taboo topics that we don't want to talk about. And because we don't talk about it, we are slowly dying. And the idea behind the Bare Naked Podcast is for us to unveil, stop hiding the thing that is going to bring forth your healing. And so by bearing naked, we actually avail ourselves to be healed. So that's where that name came from. Intentionally provocative, but it's really saying, don't cover up the thing where you're supposed to be talking about. We don't die in silence on us when we're here to help.
We're here to help you. Great marketing. Shout out to everybody.
Thank you for having me, everybody.
Like you said, like, share, subscribe, and
comment, leave
Nah, man. Leave your thought. Be a part of the conversation, man. We coming on the road soon to a city near you. In the Fries podcast tour. Hopefully you can come to one of the cities with us so you can talk to somebody again in.
Yeah.
So they can let the men in.
Y'all don't stress the men in too much. Man. But I hope I hold it down for the women, you know. Happy International Women's Month, guys.
Shout out to you. I love women. I was raised by a woman. All my people in there are women in. I love women in, but me, I represented my boy. I can mistreat some of my boy in, man. Feel sorry for them, but thank you for tuning in.
Of course.
Woo. Okay.